Most Amazon sellers dive straight into repetitive tasks that they do over and over again without actually thinking it through. But that's a huge mistake. Today I'm sharing 3 stories where I decided to fix the system first and then do the work later, and it ended up saving me days. And in this video I've included some easier to do things and then some slightly more difficult things that will end up saving you even more time in the future. So the first example comes from in 2023 when I was doing FBM from my house, doing eBay to Amazon, sending hundreds and hundreds of electronics, office supplies, computer accessories, and health and household items to my house. And so I used my basement as a storage area and a listing area, and I had probably a 15 by 15 square of boxes to the ceiling, just empty, uncut up, needed to be dealt with and recycled. But I also had hundreds and hundreds of items that I could be restocking and selling on Amazon for a profit. But I was literally running out of space because I had no space. I had boxes there. So what I had been doing is I would put on a podcast and I would literally just sit there with a box cutter cutting boxes for hours. And that made absolutely no sense considering the fact that I had lots of profitable products that I could be purchasing. And then if I wasn't doing that, I could be spending time with my wife or going outside hiking. So I heard about TaskRabbit from another Amazon seller friend, and basically that's an app where you can have people come do cleaning for you, you could have people come do errands. There's a lot of different things that these people can do for you, and there's a personal assistant section, and so I ended up hiring someone for a 3-hour job and basically explained the situation that I had a pile of boxes and I just needed help cutting up the boxes. So I hired someone for the job, they came, they cut up boxes for 3 hours, and my pile of boxes was gone, and I didn't have to do any of it. And from then on, whenever I had a huge repetitive task, and I had plenty of them, I ended up hiring someone like them in order to just come do this task and explain it to them once, and then they can just do the thing and save me time. And I can reinvest that time into other more profitable activities or more enjoyable activities instead. So problem number 2 was when I was first starting to sell on Amazon. I was doing Amazon FBA books, and I was listing all my items through Seller Central. And so I was going through Romer the Romer's 200 book challenge, and I had sourced 200 books that I needed to list on Amazon. So I had timed how long it took me in order to list these products on Amazon through Seller Central, and it was taking an average of 5 to 7 minutes per item. So just do the math on the low end. That's 1,000 minutes or 16 hours. But then I realized there were listing softwares. And so let's say it even took me 2 minutes per item instead of the 5 minutes per item. That would take me 400 minutes, which is only a little under 7 hours. So I could save 9 hours of listing time. Not fun stuff, just by getting a free trial to something like Inventory Lab or Today GoToLister. And if it was really that much better and actually saving me that much time, I can just pay the money and just keep saving the time. So with that batch, it did take me a little bit of time to figure out how to use the listing software, but I saved a lot of time and I saved countless hours, especially in the future as I was listing other items, because I ended up listing thousands and thousands of books, and that equates to a lot of time that I saved just by using the software. And then the final example was a little bit more recently. In 2025, I set out to make $2,000 profit per month selling on Walmart so that I could have some income coming from another platform instead of everything coming from Amazon. And so I had sold some items and I got my first several returns. I think there were 9 of them. And slowly over the course of a couple weeks, they all came to my house and they were sitting on my table downstairs in my basement. And I was going to have to figure out, how am I going to deal with these items? I mean, it's a pretty typical thing of having to liquidate items on eBay. It's a pretty normal thing. But I figured instead of just diving in and dealing with these items, why not just stop the flow of returns right now and do what I do for my Amazon store, which is have all my returns sent to an eBay liquidation center where I pay $5 a unit. They do a really garbage listing, honestly, but I get most of my money back and I can move on with my life and not have hundreds of items coming to my house that I have to deal with liquidation situations. So because of that, I decided to not dive in and deal with those 9 returns. I decided to just get on my computer, change my return settings on my Walmart store, and that's going to be the end of the boxes coming to my house, and I can deal with those 9 returns whenever I have time to just deal with the little bit of extra that I have to deal with, instead of dealing with those returns and then not dealing with the system and then having more returns come in and you're always behind. And it's a frustrating situation when I could have just delegated and dealt with the problem. So these are 3 stories of ways that I save time by just building a little system around it in order to save me time. What are things in your business that you could actually save time with if you were to just build a system around it? How could you think about what you're doing in your business, how long it's taking, and what output you're actually getting from it in order to actually increase the hourly rate that you have in your store? If this was helpful, please feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to get in contact with me, I respond the fastest on Instagram or in my Discord, which there should be a link below. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and take care.